Okay, so this is vlog number 3, and it's kind of a continuation. Last night and this morning I put on the final end paper, which I managed to get on a little crooked. My fingers are green because I've been trying to perfect. I got some dark green RIT dye, and I want to dye some papers. But I was really having trouble getting the right dark, like, it came out kind of a bluish color at first, so I kept having to add more dye and heat more water, and I finally got it right, but it's a really dark color, and so you'll just have to live with my grubby hands. That's how it is some days. So I put on the other cover. I repunched the hole. I found my bigger hole punch, which is what I wanted to use originally, because I actually wanted the hole to be down here. But now that it's here, I just have to live with it. And I also punched the holes. You can't really tell. It's more of a textural thing where I'm going to sew through the signatures. I went ahead and used my template and sewed those in there. I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see the holes a little bit. And I screwed up, and I started on the outside with this, and the inside pushing out, and you're supposed to start on the outside pushing in, so that you can't tell on the spine that the holes are really there, except for that they have thread coming out of them. So I made progress with that. Over the weekend I'll do the covers for the other 4. So I thought I would just talk to you while I'm trying to get some things done that I've been working on. I did go ahead and trim down the pages on the signatures so that they're all flush. You know, when you saw them the last time on a video, they were kind of, you know, when you fold paper together, it starts to push out the ends of the paper, so you wind up with this. You can see it a little bit here, but it was sticking out, you know, a good 1/4 inch in the very center. So I trimmed some of that up, and I added in a little bit more paper. Here's paper from the blue dyeing that I did. I added in a pink piece of paper, and then I added in a couple more darker tea-dyed papers. Right now I'm going to make a little bit of extra signature elements by putting 2 of these together, 2 of these together, and these aren't tea-dyed. I don't want everything in there to be tea-dyed, although I do really like the tea-dyed paper. These 2 together, so they form, like, I could put it in there and fold it, and it'll be 1 on each half. And then I'm going to do the same, because I was thinking about when I talked about these pages in my earlier video about how I had done 3 of them, and I really want some in these because I like the effect. So I have got some of the purple. Here's a light blue that I did, which is a lighter shade of the paper here. This is an orange color called Tangerine. This is a really faint. I really diluted the dye down, so you just get like a ghost of a color on there. And then I did some pink, and this is I have some pale pink and some very bright pink. So here's the difference, I think. Yeah, so you can see this is a darker, this is 2 batches of paper here. This is a much darker dip dye, and then I have a much paler one. So I'm just gonna attach some papers together to use as signatures, and that's what I'm going to work on at the moment. And then I have these, and what those do is I can take a page and put this on the corner, and what you have is a little tip in. You know, you glue it here and here, or sew it if you were using a sewing machine, and then you can tuck things in there. But the way this is folded, you can also, once it's glued down, open it up, and you would have a journaling spot here if you wanted to, or a place to put a photo or make a little mini collage. I don't know if that's in the, if it's down, yeah, I think it's still in frame. And then I made some out of matte papers, but you wouldn't really be able to write on this and see it very well. So what I was going to do is take some of this non-tea stained steno paper that I have, and put a square of that on there, so that when it's folded it looks like a mat, but when it's open, you have the paper to write on. And I have a bunch of scraps I'm going to use. I bought a collection of maps a while back, so I have a number of state maps. I really would like to expand my international collection and add a few world maps, just because they're fun to work with. And then this is some, it's a roll of craft paper, but it's very thin. And so I used it at one point for, I did a large piece and I put inspirational words on them. And then I cut it down and I used it in a journaling project. And so I still have a few of those left, pieces of words. And I thought I might attach something together using this triangular piece. I was thinking possibly, I got out some craft envelopes to see if they would fit in here without sticking it, and they will. So I thought I would put, same thing, put two together. And maybe put something like that on the back, although probably not on the craft envelope because that's craft on craft. There's not much accentuation there. But then you open it up, and on each side of the, you know, wherever you put it in here, there'll be one on this side and one on this side. But that was kind of the idea. So I got out some craft envelopes that I got to work on that. And that's what I'm going to work on today. I did get a little mini. I have an addition to my hoard of art supplies. I don't have much of a stash because I came to this late. I was a kind of a crafty person way back when, but then I had kids, and it was hard to be crafty the way I wanted to, and also, you know, be a parent and not have big messes all the time. We did kid-oriented craft stuff, but this is more adult-oriented. This is a mini Ouija stamp, and I'm not all that happy with it. I don't like the material the stamp is made out of, and it wasn't cheap. This little stamp was way more than I wanted to pay, but I really wanted a Ouija stamp, and it doesn't stamp that well. I don't know if it'll break in over time, but whatever it's made out of is super stiff, and it doesn't take the ink very well. Like it dries on really fast, so I don't know if maybe I should try some paint on it, or if it just needs some conditioning. I'll have to try and figure that out, but I was super excited to get it, and I stamped it one time, and I tried it again, and it sticks to the paper, and it doesn't come out very clear. The middle of the alphabet is very light, so I just have to figure out how to make it work right, if it's possible. I'm going to be super disappointed if I can't make it work right, because it was expensive and because I really like the stamp. And it'll be fun for spooky, creepy junk journals and for Halloween ATCs and stuff. It's the perfect size. I got that off of eBay. And I wouldn't recommend it because as it currently stands, I can't get it to work very well, and I wouldn't recommend that for somebody because it would be frustrating, I think. So that's what I'm working on right now. Then I have, so I'm making 4 books at the moment, and with a goal of making 16 more. So that's 20. I'm going to get the other 3 covers done definitely this weekend, and I hope to make good headway through all the signatures and get them all trimmed down. Start adding in things like this, the little, whoops, the little pocket elements, because there'll be, you know, several places in here where I want pockets. And just some additional tip-ins and some things to pin in here before I sew it in, because it's easier to work on the signatures before you sew them into the spine than after for some of the, you know, full page things. If I want to put a pocket all along the bottom, or, you know, stuff like that, it's just easier because I can take the whole page out and work on it if I want to. So that's what I'm going to do over this weekend, and I'll blog as I go along and kind of show my progress. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. Today I'm tea dyeing the green papers, and I'm working with a English breakfast blend tea that's turning out some nice dark papers. See if I can show a couple of those before I turn this thing off. So this is